It's Linda MacPhee's workshop. Here's Linda.
Hi, welcome to my workshop. I'm so delighted to start a brand new season with a brand new look. I'm bringing you right where the nitty-gritty is, right into my workshop where we do all these crazy things. Our surroundings may have changed since last time, but I've not changed. I'm still as crazy about sewing and creating as I ever have been, and we've got a great lineup of really fun guests, people who do some really unusual things, so I know that you're going to enjoy the shows. One of my guests is somebody that you might remember because she's been on with me before. In fact, she's an old friend, Joan Gibson, so it's great to have you here.
Hi, Linda. It's sure good to be back. Amazing to see the table.
You mean that it's clear?
Yeah.
Joan's been in my workshop many times, and she knows that we don't always keep it. I don't think tidy is part of creativity.
No, and the fabrics that you've got, so many of them cry out to be out and people to see them.
Touched and felt.
And soft, yes.
Joan does sew a lot. And Joan, whatever got you going on sewing?
Well, Linda, nothing that I ever tried on fit because my size isn't your run-of-the-mill, go to the store, buy something size.
Right.
But I think what really turned me on to sewing was the fact that MacPhee patterns are so easy for me to make fit.
In fact, you didn't take any sewing instruction, did
No.
you? I mean, you're just kind of...
High school.
Yeah, you sort of self-taught.
I did.
So where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right, and there was a necessary need for a way so that I could fit into some clothes that were stylish, and I just love the fabrics that you've got.
Okay, so what are your secrets? For a person that's a little bit larger, what are your secrets?
Well, I think the fabrics that I choose are really important. I like soft flowing fabrics, and slinky, which we both dearly love, is one of the first.
It's slinky, it's a knit, it flows, it doesn't
It hides
wrinkle,
many things.
It hides.
I have evening wear and bedtime wear. I never wear the same at bed and in the evening,
Yeah.
but it can be made into anything. And it hides a lot as long as you make it fit properly.
And I think by fitting properly, you mean not too tight.
That's right.
This too tight is ugly.
Yes.
So don't do it.
No.
Don't go there.
You have to cover and camouflage.
Yes, and it has to flow.
Yes, it does.
So you do the fabrics, lengths, and what other sorts of things?
I like to have things longer, and I really try to have one color underneath with some sparkle and accents on my jackets or blazers, tunics, types of things. But I think it's important not to chop yourself up. I like longer skirts. I'm not a short skirt person, and I'm not a person who wears a lot of fitted clothing. Everything is much looser, but I do have some problems with some of those looser clothes right now.
Yes,
because
I think the flowing look for a larger size is kind of a perfect thing, and then you can sort of be in there and not really know exactly what's going on.
That's
I think
right.
So maybe we should show what we've sort of got on, because the fabrics are important. So let's just come over here. And, of course, I've got on slinky. You don't have on slinky, but I have slinky. And it is such a wonderful fabric. You can just see it. It bounces. It just sort of smooths. It doesn't sit in the grooves. It smooths out all the grooves.
Over them. Well, I'm wearing butter suede, which is another soft fabric that just sort of hangs nicely over top.
Yes, it certainly, it does.
And one of the things about the two of them is that we don't have to hem the bottom.
That's
because it's quite a big circular skirt.
That is quite fun, and of course I don't have mine hemmed either. And I mean, just think of the fact if you want to shorten that. I mean,
that's right. It just cut it
off
and away you
here
go.
We come, and where's that?
There's another thing that I do because of my size is that this is the 6-gore skirt on you.
Yes, I've got 6 gores. What you'd like about this, though, too. I mean, this could fit quite a few people.
I'm the 8-gore. But
so you've just made 2 more gores.
That's right.
Same skirt, but you made 8.
It would probably fit you.
Yes.
Because of the elastic on the waist.
Sure.
But the other thing is that I've sort of come upon a little bit of a problem.
I know what she calls it a problem. Joan has lost 60 pounds since the last time she was on the show.
Yes, and the problem it creates is that a lot of my clothes no longer fit me.
Yay.
So I've gotten rid of them.
Okay.
Except for those that are favorites. And I've kept the outfit that I've got on today because I'd like you to give me some tips on how we can make this into a transitional outfit that I can wear for at least through the next season.
Okay. If your skirt gets, full is fine.
Right.
So more elastic is fine. So that really wouldn't have to change. But you could take a gore out of that if you really wanted, and I would just chop the gore out and carry on. So that would be one simple thing.
Okay. What about my top? It's a little bit more...
Well, you're talking about the top here.
My tunic.
The tunic, yeah, because that's basically where all things get bigger or smaller. So we would then and obviously your pocket isn't hitting there. So we would just take a swipe up that whole side. That would be...
Can I say not putting my pocket in the seam is a designer
yes.
that I do, because I know that I might have to take the side in.
Sure.
So if I put my pocket in the side,
you lose it all.
I lose it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's about the amount of space I seem to have to take it in.
So, and you'll probably, I mean, I must ask, Joan, how do you lose 60 pounds? So you better tell us that
Well,
quick.
I eat properly, Linda.
I knew there was no secret.
There's no secret. And we have 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. I drink lots of water because that's important. And I've become an exercise fanatic.
Yeah, that'll do it.
6 times a week.
Okay.
30 to 40 minutes a day.
Okay. Let's just, I knew that there was no big secret, so that's great, Joan. And determination, I think that is paramount. So you were saying you wanted to get this fitting again because it's, and you'll notice that your shape is changing.
Very much so. I have a waist.
Yes, and that's means different things.
Yes.
So how to fix this up, actually what I would do, let me just get my chalk. And what I would do is I would just pull this up, Joan, and just cut it off, and I will just draw a new line. So this can now come right up to here. So leave your sleeve the same, but cut this much off of your bodice.
About how much is that, Linda?
Oh, that's about 2 inches.
Oh.
Yeah, this is good.
Amazing.
And down here, look, we can just do the same thing. So this can come up, and you can take some out of the bottom of here, so that can come up. You know, this is really simple to change.
Well, and I think that's the key to so many of the patterns that MacPhee makes, is that they really don't have a lot of intricate designing detail that you're going to have to think, oh, this is far too hard.
You know, we've got a great project coming up, so we have to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to show you how to do a slinky jacket. So don't go away. I'm here in my slinky jacket with Leona, and I mean, we're both the slinky queens. This is my classic awesome jacket that we've made on the program before. It's the no side seam, all one piece. Simple idea. So this is the easiest. But then we said, you know, we could just change it a little bit by making it different colors. So here it is, solid green, no side seam. This is all one piece. Some blue sleeves, a band down the front. So you've got 3 colors. And then you've got your slinky top and skirt. And again, the gored skirt with the elastic waist. It's wonderful. Oh, and let's just take this off. And before we let you go, I want to show you this neckline. Because this is my simplest neckline in the world. It's a raw edge. And all you need to do is just tuck that under and just let it drape. Doesn't that look great? Anyway, thank you. So, Joan, what do you think of this?
Well, I can see that there's room in my closet for one more outfit.
Yes, I know you've never done this awesome jacket.
No, I haven't, because with my previous size, it wouldn't go around me.
Yes, and you said it's not good for people with large arms.
No, it is not.
It's
so
set in.
That's right. Yeah. It's more important. But now I'm going home to, I have the exact fabric you have on waiting.
Good. And there's more on the wall if you run out.
Oh, good. Well, I'll let you know if I need more.
Yeah. So I know you've done a lot of sewing with Slinky. So what are your tricks?
Well, you know, when I'm sewing with Slinky, there's a couple of things I think are really important. One is that you always have it on the surface where you're working so that you don't have it falling on the floor.
When it falls off, there's a lot of weight to it.
Yes.
And you kind of got to keep it up where you're...
And you might get frustrated.
Yes. Yeah.
And the other thing is the twin needle is a magic piece of... a magic tool to use.
The twin needle makes such a beautiful hem.
And this is a very narrow twin needle. This is the narrowest width. If you use a wider one, you get a welt in the middle.
So a little bump.
Yes,
yeah,
so
okay
this
too.
one
yeah.
gives
but
it a little
nice.
cleaner
yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about cutting it out? What kind of scissors?
I just use my good sharp dressmaker scissors.
Yeah, yeah.
And I make sure I have everything laid out. I also make sure that I've pinned my selvages together very well before I start, because it does tend to move a little bit. And it kind of grows on you. When I do a skirt, I always put the skirt on for a day before I decide on my bottom hem length, because it sort of needs settling
There's
in
weight
time.
to it, and it does grow, sure. I think this was kind of a clever idea, because every time we make a garment, there's always scraps. And I'm obsessed about scraps, and I want to make things out of my scraps. So I think you can make it work to your advantage.
Oh, I think so. You could certainly find a piece for...
This could go with your burgundy outfit, with your green outfit, with your blue outfit. You can have different color sleeves.
You could even have block the body part if you were so inclined, if you wanted to put a side seam in. But just making it simple, you could make it today and wear it tonight.
Well, that's the whole game. That's the name of the game.
That's right.
Yeah. I would just say, too, the less seams you have, the less chance you have of stretching or doing whatever. So let's talk about putting it together. I think we've got the basic cut out here. So it looks like nothing when you sort of look at it.
Right, it's a big piece with 2 little shoulder seams.
So we're going to sew the shoulder seam. So here is...
And why are we putting this black?
Okay, let me just see where we're at here. Okay, you should take this and measure your pattern.
Right.
Because we don't want that shoulder seam to stretch.
Okay.
So we're going to cut it exactly the size.
Right.
Because, you see, if we start sewing this could grow quite a bit. So if we actually put that into our seam, so it's going to be right sides together. So here we go, right sides together. And by the way, with Slinky, it's pretty tough to see what's the right and the wrong side. Have you noticed that?
I have, but I decided that as long as you keep the same side going,
exactly,
you're pretty
So
safe.
let's put that. This one lines up. Just a minute. Here we go. I think I must have the wrong.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So that's going to line up with that, and we're going to put that piece right on top and sew it in. We've got the other side done, so let's just go to it.
Okay.
So there's the other side, and you can see that that is actually just stitched right in, and that seam will not go anywhere.
And we just use a regular stitch in the sewing machine. Right, okay.
So once you do that, then you're going to put the sleeve in.
Right.
And the sleeve is easy to put in.
You sew it first?
Yeah, sew it up, and you're going to center it, and you're going to put right sides together, center this, and this will ease. I don't even put an easing stitch in it. I just
well,
ease
they
it.
both have such stretchability in their fabric.
Yeah. In fact, I think we have one that has the sleeve in it, and that sleeve works in beautifully well. Then once that's done, we're just going to have to put the band on. And the band could be the same color, it could be a different color.
Right. What's this?
Interfacing. And it's that fusible knit interfacing. And that just gives it a little bit of body, just a little bit of stability.
And it still stretches with your...
Yeah, don't put it in the whole thing, just put it in half. So if you look at that, just in half. And then fold this in half, and we're going to just pin this, and do this flat. Don't sort of do it up here because it's going to stretch. So do it flat. And when you lay it out flat, you'll see that this will just follow along, start at the center back with the seam, go right down the front.
And when do you hem it? Do you hem it after you've put this on?
We're going to have hemmed this before.
Okay.
In fact, let's look at this one.
Okay.
So let's just show you, because we're going to have hemmed this garment. In fact, we put a little bit of interfacing along that front edge just to keep that. But then just turn this, finish the bottom. I should have kept that. Where is the bottom of that one? So if we just turn this, if you go right sides together and stitch across there, that'll all flip out finished, which is this. And then you'll stitch it down like that so that those two will go exactly together and top stitch. And we're talking done.
And we just used a single top stitch, or did we do the
just
double
a single,
needle?
Or you could do a double needle, whatever.
And I see there's serging on here.
You can serge it or straight stitch it.
Okay. And does it ravel, Linda?
Doesn't ravel. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay.
So we're done, Joan. So you can do it.
I'm going to go home and do it now.
Okay, it's another break time, and we'll come back with another great project. My favorite things is to make something from something you wouldn't expect, like a cushion cover. I love these cushion covers, and I thought, how many cushions could a person have? Couldn't you wear your cushion? So I thought, we could put it on a jacket. So this is one of my favorite jackets. It's a dolman blazer, but look at the lapels. Do they look a bit like cushion covers? Well, yes, have a look. Here is one lapel. Take it, fold it on this other side. Here is another lapel, and it depends what cushion. And of course, there's a strange piece left there in the middle. Guess what? It becomes a purse. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Here, I'll take it. Thank you. So, Joan, are you set?
I'm set. I'm just flabbergasted.
I love these cushions, and they really look like you've put a lot of work into them and you haven't done anything.
You didn't make this last night?
No, and it comes already bound. I've just used it.
Beautiful.
So what's a good pattern to choose? The dolman blazer. It's one of my favorites because it's dolman sleeve, and it would certainly work well on every figure. I did the applique down on this one, but now that I know about the cushion trick,
lapels are on their way.
So here we've laid it out. Fabric-wise, I've used acacia satin here, which is the flannel back satin, which has a nice body. But we've used a nylon here. It could be any fabric, a cotton twill. Yeah, anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just laid it out, but we don't have time to cut it out. But there it is. In fact, we've even got the applique on here, should you want to do that.
Okay.
And the first trick is the pocket. If you'll notice on this pocket, it's actually into this seam and into this seam.
Right.
So it's an easy pocket. It's not one of those
You don't have to make
ones.
it work.
No,
top stitch.
we don't want to suffer. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pocket piece, line it, flip it, and then it will go into that front seam and it will go into your underarm seam.
So it fits exactly over the top, the bottom.
And you
okay.
top stitch it. So
right.
let's then just show you the back. Here's your back center section, and this is a very slimming look too.
Yes, because
you've got the seams going down there. So and top stitch this one, and then basically we've got another one sort of.
The shoulder seam.
Well, we've got this one. I think that we can show that one on.
Okay.
So if you look, we've sort of done this for you just to make it really fast. So there's the back. And then we'll take this around. And there's the front. And you'll see that this pocket is actually worked into that seam the way we said. And now we're going to put the lapels
on.
Okay, where do you suppose we're going to get these lapels? Let's have a look. If we take this cushion and we cut the two edges off.
Right.
There becomes two lovely lapels, and this is left for the purse.
Okay.
So here's what we did. We put this lapel, and we put it right side, or wrong side to right side. So this is the way it's going to become on the jacket.
Right. Okay.
So you'll put that one, and I've just brought it right up to the top. And, I mean, this cushion, it doesn't matter how long the lapel is, but I think the shape is kind of good. It's a little wider at the top. And we'll put this other one on the other side. So this would go like this.
So you're going to see the right side.
Yes.
When
and then
you're
we have to put
looking
the facing. Basically, the facing is going to hide all.
Okay.
So if you then put right sides together, sandwiching that in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at that, we will stitch all the way up here, around the back neck, and down this front.
Right.
That will sandwich that whole thing in there.
And then just at the bottom here, do we secure?
Actually, we could stitch that down. If you have a look on this one, I think we did. This is the finished one. The hem is the issue that we didn't talk about. But if you turn, if you go back to this one and you're facing, if you turn when you're sewing here, if you then come down here and go across there, that will finish that whole thing.
And it gives you a line for where to hem from.
And then you will just hem the rest of it, having serged it.
Okay.
So here's the finished front. Here's your lapel.
All sandwiched in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did actually just tack that down so that it doesn't flop around.
Right.
It's a nice idea if you want to put a frog or put some kind of fastening, or even a zipper. Zipper works well in this as well.
And I see you've top stitched this on the back.
Yes, just to sort of hold the facings and hold that together.
Right, from this side, and only to the end of the collar.
Yes, it just kind of gives it a little bit of stability and finishes off. And of course, isn't it fun to find cushions that match your fabric? So this is sort of how I decide what fabric I'm going to use, is what cushion will match.
And the top stitching, of course, accents.
Sure,
sure.
So let's then talk about the purse, because the purse was just kind of a bonus. And I thought, okay, so what are we going to do with this piece? I can't bear to have a scrap.
Never.
No.
Never.
So okay, let's say this, here we go. This could have worked on...
You could almost change your jacket if you were so inclined.
I did think at one stage, I thought, should I make these removable? And I thought, no, Linda, stop it. Make another jacket. So let's not even go there. But here is the top and bottom.
Right.
So I then said, okay, let us cut 3 pieces of... See, this is with the cushion. This is the lining of the cushion. So that
this
comes
is
like
one.
that, But let us cut 3 pieces the same out of the cassia or whatever fabric that you're doing it with. Okay, and then let us cut 3 pieces of the top.
Right.
So you could actually cut one big piece and chop it where we say.
So we're ending up with 4, including our purse.
Yes. Well, 3 plus the purse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's then take those off.
Right.
Because you can see, and I've just sort of done this all so that it makes it really simple.
Okay.
So now, how are we going to sew this together?
Okay, I'm ready.
It's not. It seems kind of complicated because there's a lot of pieces, but when you think it out, it's really not.
And you always have very simple words to remember, like right
sides
sides together, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
This sewing is not rocket science.
No.
No, people think that there's some great magic to this whole sewing thing, and I have been doing this. I mean, we've had our workshop for 25 years, so it's really nothing.
If you can take it apart, you can put it back together.
You can. Okay, so here is right sides together. We've put a top to a bottom.
Okay, T
So
to B.
that is of the lining fabric.
Okay,
Then we've taken 2 bottoms together. So if you take the bottom
right.
and the bottom, put right sides together
together.
like that, stitch across, and then flip it.
Right.
So now we have that. And then we've got a top to a bottom.
Okay,
So you just sew the top to the
Right.
bottom like this. So that was a seam like that.
right.
So then we have to layer these. So now we're going to put this one down like this.
Printed top to lining bottom.
Yeah,
Printed. Okay.
like that. And then we're going to cover it. We have 3 layers here.
Right.
And I know that this makes you kind of a little bit nervous. You sort of think, okay, now what piece have I got where? In fact, what I would do is be pinning this first.
Right.
And then you can kind of pull it out so that you don't have to stitch it and then say,
Uh-oh.
I think we've got one split.
Right.
So pin it first, pull it out, and then just check.
Right.
So that's what I've done here is I've stitched down there, across the bottom, up here.
And I notice you've turned the lining down a little bit here at the top
So that'll
too.
be ready to hem.
Okay.
And when you clip it, clip
Right.
across your corners like that so that you don't have extra bulk.
Right.
So do you trust me? Shall we turn it and see if it works?
Oh, I think we probably are okay.
You think
but
we're okay?
I'm not sure.
Well, like I say, just go slow on it, and then you can sort of
That's
turn
right.
it and see. So if we pull these out, and you can use one of your little poker things to
right.
get those
the
corners out.
flat.
Okay, so here we go. In fact, here's what we need.
But you did a little double flip there.
Well, if you flipped it out, there's 2 different ways. You see, I could have this all inside out, or I could have it right side out.
Right.
So I've got to have it right side out. And there is my purse. There's my inside. In fact, if you want to put a little pocket, we've even put a pocket in the lining before we sewed it
Okay,
together.
I'm thinking, where do I put this in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this will flip down like this, and then that's already turned like that. This cushion had a little bit of a problem there, so we could just come and do something like this. We could then take this and stitch that. That would be rather good.
that would be
That's
nice. Yes.
And what would we use for a handle?
Handle.
Well, we've got all variety of things. You could use a little bit of cord like that. You could use one of these cords. You could use
Beading.
some stuff that comes like that. The one that we did, originally, we
Right.
actually used the fabric that we used for the
Okay.
jacket and made a tube and then just stitched it right onto the inside like that. So that just finishes off your little purse. And
You would be the talk of the town.
well, this is why we sew, because it sort of separates the sheep from the goats, if you know what I mean. Is when you've got the matching purse, I mean, people do take notice.
That's right.
And they sort of say, holy smoke, she's either, got a lot of money or how did she get all this?
And knowing you even have shoes probably to match this.
Yes, I probably do, Joan. And that is something that's very important. Anyway, we've had fun today, so thank you.
Thank you.
And I've got a man waiting, and I'm going to show him some tricks. So you'll want to watch it. Hi, Stephen. How's it going?
Not too bad. Linda, how are you?
I'm doing good, but I know that you always talk about these buttons, and you fuss about them. How do you sew on a button?
I leave it on my mother's sewing table.
I should be so lucky. I think we better show you, because you're going
Okay.
to be far more marketable if you can sew on your own button.
All right.
In fact, here's one of the best things. You can fake it by that's a little safety pin with a little nick
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
And that way you can just put that in behind, and people think you sewed it on.
Oh, well,
And
that's a
it'll
good
stay.
idea.
So
But if I
that's-
wanted to do it real, how would I do it?
Okay, so thread your needle, and in fact, I've got a sewing kit. I'm going to present you with the sewing kit so that you can have this
Thank you.
whenever you need. So double thread with a knot, and
I
you
got
just
it.
flip that around, make a knot, and then secure your thread on the top.
Okay.
And this is not just for you, Stephen. There's lots of women out there that don't know how to sew on buttons either.
Really?
So, yeah, exactly. So secure your thread, and then just come up in the holes. So you could come up, and if there's 2 holes, that's okay. If there's 4 holes, it takes a little
There, it
longer
takes
than
a
what
little
we got.
Yeah, I
That's
got it.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, and you just come up.
So, come up through one of the holes.
Yeah, and then go back down through one of the holes.
Back down.
And you just keep
And just
sew
keep
on
working
and
it
sew
back
on and so on.
and so on and so on and so on. Hey.
What you do if you want a little space, because sometimes people say, I want a shank on my button.
Yes.
You take your keys and you put them there so that it leaves a little space between the button and the cloth.
Good idea.
So you did it. You got it.
All right.
Okay.
I'll
well,
keep working on this
I
then.
think even Stephen can. So, we've got lots more things next show, so tune in next time, and we'll have so much fun all over again.
To receive the companion book for this series, send $19.98 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-MacPhee.